Tim Thomas, one of the netminders selected by Brian Burke and his group. Here are the forwards: Chris Drury, Patrick Kane, Bobby Ryan, Paul Stastny, Ryan Kessler, and Ryan Malone, along with Parise, Pavelski, Callahan, Kessel, who drew a significant reaction, somewhat negative here in Boston, David Backes, Dustin Brown, and Jamie Langenbrunner, rounding out your group of 13 forwards. On the back line, it's the Johnsons and Eric and Jack, Mike Komisarek, Brooks Orpik, Ryan Suter, Brian Rafalski, and Paul Martin, who is injured right now. We'll hope that he's healthy in time. Tim Thomas, Jonathan Quick of the Kings, and Ryan Miller of the Sabres are the three netminders rounding out this U.S. Olympic roster. Brian Burke, Happy New Year. Welcome to our show here on the NHL Network. How challenging was it to get down to this list of 23?
Well, thanks to USA Hockey, we've got a increasingly deeper and broader talent pool to draw from. And we don't have the big name recognition on some of our teams in the 90s and maybe the 2004 World Cup where names that leap out at you. But I think we've got more depth and a wider selection and some really good young players. So we had real difficult battles at every position. Goaltending probably the easiest, but we had a significant battle on the third spot also. So it's been a lengthy and difficult process.
I guess just to follow on that last point, I mean, Craig Anderson, Jonathan Quick, what's the ultimate deciding factor there?
Well, they're both, if you look at it, they're both having great years. They both had, in Andy's start, Casey had a great start, then fell off a bit, and now he's back playing well again. Really, I guess if all things were equal, probably go with the younger of the two goaltenders, and Quick has had a great year for LA, so that one is how we made that decision.
What do you like most about this team? If you said, look, Team USA at the Olympics is going to beat their opponents this way, what is that way going to be?
I think two things. I'd say we look for character as a defining characteristic of the team. We tried to identify character people that will handle challenges well, that will rise to the occasion, and second, versatility. We can't take the 23 best players and try to beat a Russia or Canada. We had to take some specialists. So if you look at that team, there are guys that are good at specific tasks, good foot speed, some good offense, and then a breakdown on how I like to build my team's top six, bottom six forwards with a divisional labor.
Who's your bottom six?
Well, they're going to find out.
No, but seriously, I think you could have maybe gone larger. I mean, I think of a Dustin Byfuglien type guy that he's obviously would have been in the mix, right?
We had a real difficult battle over Dustin Byfuglien. He's a good hockey player. He's a good kid. He's having a fine year again, and he does again the versatility part. He plays point on the power play, he plays forward, brings big size. We just felt he will be a factor for Team USA, but I think it'll be in the next Olympics.
Is there one player that stands out as the toughest guy to leave off the list? I mean, Dustin Byfuglien's there. Kyle Oposo is a great young player for the New York Islanders. Does one stand out as the guy that you had the toughest time leaving off the list?
No, we had, when you do a process like this, I should go through the process for the people that are watching this. We have 6 GMs plus Jim Johansson from USA Hockey staff. So we have 6 GMs, Dean Lombardi, Donnie Waddell, Paul Holmgren, Ray Shiro, myself, and David Poyle, who's the associate GM. We've been meeting and evaluating players for 16 months now. We put in a rating system a year and a half ago. We go and watch the U.S.-born players and rate them. So we've put in a tremendous amount of work, and a body of work is important as far as a player. A player who might not have had a great start this year, but his body of work in the last 16 months has been impressive. That carried a lot of weight with us. So what was the one hardest thing? I'd say there were really difficult decisions at every position. Leaving a Ryan Whitney off, that was a difficult battle. A Dustin Byfuglien, Kyle Okposo, Scott Gomez. I mean, they're tough decisions with every single position we had.
You're not going to draw comparisons to other countries right now, but you do look like an incredibly fast potential group up front. And would you feel like you match up against everybody in that regard?
Foot speed-wise, I would say yes, but I will say this. There's not going to be a penny bet on this team in Vegas. We know that.
Even now? Now that it's out?
No, the overwhelming favorites in this tournament are going to be Canada and Russia, and the pressure on Canada is going to be unbelievable. And it started yesterday when they named their team. Pressure on them is going to be unbelievable. No one's going to be focused on us. We'll go in quietly, and that's the way we like it.
So what realistically then are expectations for you? I know you don't play to come fourth and fifth. That's not your nature. So what realistically are the expectations for Team USA?
We're going there to win. There's no other reason to go. There's no other reason to go to a tournament like this. And when we picked the team, we didn't talk about safe picks. We didn't talk about what would let us get in a shot at a medal. We took guys that we thought could help us win. and that's what we're going there to do.
Is there a likelihood the goaltending will balance out in the early games, or do you expect to have one guy and then run with it?
Well, we play every other day, so my guess is the coach will pick one goaltender and go with one goaltender, but that's going to be a coaching decision.
All right, Brian, thank you again, and Happy New Year, and thanks for being a part of this on New Year's Day.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
We are at the Bridgestone 2010 Winter Classic. The result is in the books. It's Boston 2,